Hi everybody, welcome to the video surprise of the day. Today our video surprise to you on my reverse osmosis water filtration system. So this one we have is a 5-stage. How you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the different ones we have first. First the water comes in through here. Then this is the sediment filter. Then you got the carbon and the carbon. The sediment filter just removes the sand and dirt. All right, and that egress over here, then it goes to a automatic shutoff. So ASO, automatic shutoff valve. So that is over here. You can follow the line. Then it's supposed to go into your membrane. So the membrane removes the salt. Over time, you want to replace this. You don't need to replace it every year. I think it's more like 2 years or so. Check your manual. All right, then this thing exits. All right. And the good water goes in the ASO again. The bad water is supposed to come out through this black tubing and it's supposed to go to the drain. So that exits out. All right. So the good water over here will also go to your tank, which is the yellow one over here. One thing about the tank, what kind of PSI? A lot of people talk about repressurizing their tank. Well, that's going to be 5 to 7 PSI when there's no water inside. Definitely empty all the water out before pressurizing it. You actually could loosen the top over here and get it all out, or just put pressure with the faucet open and all the water will squeeze out. All right. So getting water to the tank when your system is not on. Okay. If your system's on, you want it to go through here. So going through here should exit out to another T connector. One is going to go to the fridge and one is going to go to the faucet. So that's plain and simple. Things that I discovered could go wrong, which you could spend a lot of time doing, is over time this ASO, automatic shutoff, will actually fail. So that means your water is going to keep on coming out of the black tubing and down the drain, just like the dollar sign. So you got to be really careful and check that once in a while, or check your water department, see if they have a website, as I learned, right? Another thing you want to check is actually the check valve over here. Over time, these will fail, and they kind of work with the ASO at the same time. Make sure you check your connection carefully. If your connection is not right or anything like that, you also could get vibration. So we had encountered that in the past. So the vibrations, all of a sudden your reverse osmosis system will start vibrating, and it just drives you crazy, and you can't figure out, check your connections and everything's right. And yeah, also check your ASO, which is this thing over here in the middle. It's like there's a high side, there's a low side. This is my unit over here, so yours may differ a little bit. All right, and these are the check valves and such, right? And you could probably buy these parts pretty much online, or eBay or Amazon or anything like that, right? Over time, your tank does fail, so keep that in mind. Tanks are not meant to last forever, so you can actually use a tire pressure gauge and such to connect to here to check the PSI. You can use a bicycle pump, or you can use a air pump. Just be really careful not to overpressurize it, right? So probably a good PSI that I mentioned is 6, right? 6.5 or so. If you have all the water out and you want to turn off the water, and you set the pressure, all right? Once you get all that completed, then you have a good system, right? Filters on the bottom over here actually requires you to change it every 6 months or so. So depending how dirty it gets, I would suggest every 6 months or so. But the membrane, which is this one over here, doesn't need changing until maybe say 2 years or so, right? The chlorine filter, which is the one on top over here, requires you to, over time, if your water tastes funny, then you want to change it. It's probably around 2 years or so as well. So 2 to 3 years, But the biggest thing is these filters get dirty pretty fast, especially the sediment filter. The carbon filter are always going to be some carbon. Once you turn on the reverse osmosis system, you're going to turn on the water, maybe say for 3 to 4 minutes, or even 5 minutes, I guess, until all the carbon is out of the faucet. Otherwise, you don't want to start drinking the faucet, and also you don't want to get it onto the fridge water. Otherwise, it's going to be really dirty, and you could clog the system as well at the same time. I think one other thing I wanted to mention is that reverse osmosis systems are really meant to filter out salt-based systems. So if you have a salt for your water softener, and you probably want to get reverse osmosis, they come together. So basically, you don't want to really drink the salt, which is bad for you. Too much salt is bad for your diet. And that's why it's a good idea to get a reverse osmosis system, as well as the water softener that's a salt water softener. If it's not a salt water softener, you don't really get a reverse osmosis system. Mainly, the thing about reverse osmosis system is remove the salt. And the membrane is one of the key components to do it. This is just a sediment filter. And we actually have an extra sediment filter, a GE one, in fact, that would like a whole house filter. So that way we remove a lot of the sediment. It passes everything through. So, but still, we also notice there's sediment filter gets pretty dirty over time. And that's like, how long is over time? Over time is 6 months is really dirty already for our water. So, you might want to install a whole house sediment filter. Then you have another sediment filter. Then you got the carbon, then the carbon. So, and you could buy these relatively inexpensively on Amazon. It's not hard to install. You need to get some tools to do it, and they do come with these branches and such like that, So make sure you got the tools to open it up. And, just be careful. They're plastic and they don't last very, very long if you're not careful with these, especially, on these plastic roofs and stuff like that. And they could leak, all right? Over time, they do leak if you're not careful or you're pretty rough on it, right? So I think that's what I learned from my past experience. These 3 filters are easy to install. Just make sure if you install it, you hear a noise, make sure you check the pressure over here. And we pressurize the tank. A lot of times the noise will be gone. If not, also, if you disconnected a lot of the tubing here, make sure you reconnect it correctly. Otherwise, you're going to also have a vibrating and noise as well at the same time. So also, if you, like I mentioned before, your water's not shutting off, you keep on exiting through the block tubing, which goes to the drain. You want to check the automatic shut-off valve, which is the one over here. Relatively inexpensive. It's probably like under $15 for this one. I think the check valves are more expensive in particular. So you definitely want to check in those. I'm not sure which one is bad a lot of times. So maybe you want to experiment, change one out and see if the other one fixes the problem or not, right? So that's all I have to say. You have a comment to share to help others, please post it below. If you have a suggestion, please post it below. I really appreciate a thumbs up if you made this far. And I see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.